Yeah, so I think the hotel industry, Eloise, in 10 years' time is going to be in a much better position than it is, far better position than it is today, to number one, serve their employees better, to make sure that their employees have all the tools that they are used to in life outside the hotel, and through them be able to provide much better guest experiences for their guests visiting. There used to be a time, Eloise, when how happy that a guest feels at your resort or hotel used to depend on the culture of the hotels. Now it has reached a stage, and 10 years from now it's going to be a lot more pronounced, that the people culture alone is not enough. Your employee culture alone is not enough. You need technology along with it. So 10 years from now, I expect things to be a lot more interconnected and automated. Like they don't need to go from system to system to system. One of our customers describes it as the swiveling chair, where you go here one system, then you go to here for a data. That's too much, right? You don't do that outside of hotels today. So I think that will be the big difference. 5-10 years, not even 10 years from now, even 5 years from now, you will find employees having much better tools in their hands. Like at every guest touch point, they will know what the guest is doing in other amenities as well. And the guests will find it a lot easier to buy anything they need. They're in two ways, right? The greatest potential for innovation, or more than that, the greatest need for innovation is in two places. One, each solution being capable of handling what modern technology products do today. For example, running in the cloud, running in multi-tenant SaaS cloud situation. You will be shocked if you do a survey of hotel products, of software products, technology products, and how far back they are, right? How it doesn't have the information security safeguards that you require, lack the ability to truly work in a multi-tenant cloud. So one is the products lack the technological basis, the technology foundation to be truly 2024 products, because the vendors have not invested enough in R&D. So the technology foundation of each of the products will require massive investments to get to where they need to be. So that's one major need, or that's one major requirement now. Now that is for each of the products independently. The other major requirement is for them to be connected better, which is why we took on this task 7 years ago of creating all these 17, 20 additional products, because we felt if each of those products are provided by a different vendor, if you assume they're all based on an API architecture, if they're all well-meaning vendors who want to do the right thing, they all have resource constraints. They all have their product roadmaps. So when a new idea, when an innovative idea comes up, it is very difficult to go convince vendor A and vendor B to do it at a reasonably same time frame, because they all have their priorities. It's not that anyone is bad or good. Each of these products also have to be much better integrated, right? So that a customer can easily install 2-3 of them and get the benefit of that for the guest.
Hotels should almost think of themselves as Google, right? So if you think of why Google is helpful to all of us as users, it's because it knows what I prefer, and then when I go to Google Maps, my home is already saved, my work is already saved. It's able to personalize my offerings for me on my online environment. Now when you kind of flip that script, hotels, once you walk into the hotel, they have you within those four walls, and they have the opportunity to learn a lot about you within those four walls. The guest is leaving a breadcrumb trail every time they're doing something. When they check in, they tell you something. When they go to a hotel, or when they make a reservation with a waitress, with the host, they say, hey, I'm allergic to gluten. They're leaving that breadcrumb trail throughout as a virtue of their purchasing behavior. And as hoteliers, we need to be able to bring that together, learn from that, and then do preferences. So when you start not looking at it as silos, right? Don't look at it as, this is my front desk application. That's all this does. This is my POS application, that is all this does. This is my spa application, that is all this does. But if you look at it more from an experience standpoint, what is the experience I want to drive, and let the data just flow across. I think there's a lot of opportunity to personalize that we are living on the table, and whoever is able to kind of break those data silos and make that information actionable is, I think, sitting on a gold mine. It truly is able to then make that guest feel at home. Let's start with the basics. Is your data being shared across different systems, right? Don't just chase the next shiny object. AI is not going to magically solve all your problems. AI is going to help you in certain things, just like a good process will help you in certain things. So, but to answer your question more specifically, we think the technologies that are trending now, where mobility is here to stay. Mobility from a guest standpoint, but as well as mobility from a staff standpoint. Because your staff demographics are also changing. So don't lose sight of staff. So when you think of upgrading technology, you're catering to two customers, if I could use the word, your guests and your new staff. So mobility is here to stay in all aspects. I think that's not going anywhere. I'm seeing some early implementations of conversational chat bots and stuff like that. I don't know how ubiquitous that will become, but I think if you kind of look 5 years out, as more of that generation who's used to self-service starts becoming the predominant traveler, more of that self-service will take over. And I look at AI as not something that's going to change the industry dramatically. It's going to augment everything we do in the industry. So I think every technology, you should look at it as, does it make my operations better? Does it help my staff service the guest better? Because we are going to come to that hotel for that human touch, because we are surrounded by technology everywhere else.